Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Got a new Cardfight Vanguard video for you guys today, and it occurred to me I didn't do one last week. My mistake. Actually, this was supposed to come out yesterday, but life happened. So today we're going to talk about the deck, talk about our history with this deck, because we have some history with this deck, and of course, jump into some gameplay. So if you guys enjoy the content, drop a like on the video, subscribe if you're new to the channel. Let's jump in. Let's talk about it. So, I'll also excuse my appearance. It's freezing in my house, but the reason we're talking about Kyoya again, because we've already done a video on Kyoya, like when it first got announced, is because this deck, specifically this build, just won BCS Houston. Was it last weekend or the weekend before? I think it was last weekend. Or the weekend before. Last weekend? Let me know. I don't know the actual dates, but it's the first Buddyfight deck to win a major event. And I basically have his build right here. So we're going to talk about it and why I get it. So I worried a little too much about the draw power of the deck because the deck is really, really weak when it comes to deck out, but it's kind of in the same vein as Odium. When I made Odium, I made it a straight gas because if I don't win by turn 5 anyway, I'm probably losing regardless. Well, turn 5, turn 6, but you get what I'm saying. So let's talk about it. Of course, we have the ride line. Now, if you already know all the Kyoya cards, you guys can skip ahead straight to the gameplay. I'll have it the timestamps down below. But for you guys that don't know the deck and don't know, wondering if you take an interest in this, I'm going to go through all the cards. Also, this is not my favorite Buddyfight deck. My favorite Buddyfight deck is Zanga, and I got a new build for that too. That's mad fun. But we'll talk about that later. All right, so let's talk about Dragon Ean. So Dragon Ean, when you stand up, costs say raise the flag, and you become a Buddy Fighter. When you become a Buddy Fighter, put a Buddy monster from your ride deck into the order zone. You may only have one flag in a deck. So in this ride deck, you have a 5-card ride deck because of your buddy. This card cannot be affected by the abilities or effects, and when you would ride, call, or play the ability of a card with only Buddyfight in its card name, if that is a Dragon Ean or a generic card, or that card is a card with Dragon as its race, you can ride it, call it, or play its ability. This is the downside to the Buddyfight decks, is that you're specifically locked to certain kinds of cards. In this case, you only be able to use Buddyfight cards that are either generic, which are what the triggers are, or are dragons. When this card is put into your order zone, discard a card from your hand, and until end of this fight, the number of cards in your damage zone for you to lose becomes 7. So you discard a lot of cards up front, but you make up for an aggression and advantage as the game progresses. So let me pull up the gauge zone, because the gauge zone is technically a card, but it's separate. So this is the gauge zone. It's technically its own separate card, but you get it when you flip over a Buddyfight Vanguard. Auto ride deck so you have a 6-card ride deck, my mistake. When you ride, put a flag from your soul into the order zone. That's how you get Dragon Ean into the order zone. Put this card into the crest zone and put the top 2 cards of your deck face down as a gauge. Continuous, you have gauge. Gauge is a resource that the Buddyfight decks use. When this card is put into the crest zone, or at the beginning of your ride phase, put a card from your hand into the face down into the gauge and draw a card. That's the charge and draw. And then Buddy Call, continuous, once per fight. If your Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, choose a Buddy monster from your order zone, call it to rear guard, and counter charge 1. I actually totally forgot about the counter charge. That's a big deal. So the way it works is you discard a card to ride grade 1. When you ride grade 1, Dragon Ean goes into the order zone, and so does your buddy, and you get the gauge. And then you charge the top 2 cards of your deck. You're allowed to also do a charge and draw, which basically means you take a card from your hand, put it face down as your gauge, and you draw an extra card. So you get to draw a card, but you're giving up 3 cards to get all your effects. You discard for ride and discard for Dragon Ean. So that's why it sounds like you're burning through a lot of cards really fast, but this deck has a crazy amount of draw power. All right, our grade 1, when it's rolled upon by invitation of Disaster Kyoya again, I hope I said his name right. Look at the top 5 cards of your deck, choose up to 1 card with Dragon Ean's race without Sentinel from among them, and reveal it, put it to your hand. That's pretty much the entire deck, even the orders are dragons, so that's pretty cool. Invitation of Disaster Kyoya, when this unit is rolled upon by grade 3 Kyoya and its card name, put the top card of your deck into your face down into your gauge and draw a card. Simple. And then Savior of the World Kyoya again. This is our main grade 3. All of your rear guards with Dragon and its race get power plus 5,000. Active on your opponent's turn 2. This is always live because every rear guard in this deck is a dragon. Technically, I'll talk about why I say it like that when we get to the actual rear guards. Okay, active Vanguard Circle once per turn. Cost Counter Blast 1. Look at the top 5 cards of your deck. Choose up to 1 card with Dragon and its card name. Dragon its race, sorry. From among them, reveal it, call it to rear guard if it is a unit card, and put it into your hand if it's a normal order. Shuffle the deck. Like I said, the orders also have dragon as their race. So you can either get a superior call or an order to hand. The orders in this deck are pretty cool. And then Dragon Throne. Continuous Vanguard Circle. When your unit with a Zaidahaka in its card name can be called regardless of their grade, and they can attack from the back row center column. So this deck, just in him, has 4 attacks built in, because you can put one of your grade 4s into the back row. He doesn't care that they're grade 4s. He said you can call them regardless. Speaking of grade 4s, our buddy. Ooh. Yearning for Extinction, Zaidahaka. Continuous, this card cannot be written. Call cost, pay 2 gauge and retire a rear guard. This is expensive. But this deck does not actually use a whole lot of gauge, so this is okay. Auto rear guard circle. When this unit is retired during your opponent's turn, or your damage check reveals a card during your opponent's turn, if your Vanguard circle does not have an item, search your deck or drop for up to 1. I'm going to butcher this name. Akilta Guanef. If it's card in its card name and armor to your Vanguard. If you search your deck, shuffle the deck. That is our sword. That is a grade 4 order that we cannot play. The only way we can even equip it is with this skill or the skill of the other grade 4, which we'll talk about when we get to the grade 4. What does a sword do? Again, we'll talk about that when we get to it. And then double attack. Auto back row center, rear guard circle once per turn. At the end of the battle, this unit attacked. If your grade 3 or greater Vanguard is stand, cost kind of +1, stand this unit. So with this and the grade 3, that's 5 attacks. Doesn't care what your opponent's Vanguard is at. Auto back row center. When this unit stands, by this effect, this unit gets 10,000 power till end of turn. If your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, it also gets +1 critical. Yeah. Super easy 5 attacks. It searches you all your pieces, and now when we talk about the actual deck, you'll see how it all flows in together. So first up, we have our grade 1 booster. This is the only grade 1 in the deck. Dragon Knight Cagliostro. That name is funny. Anyway, as you see in its race, it is a dragon knight, but because it has dragon, it fits the bill. That's how all of them are. Auto, when this unit is placed on rear guard, if you have not placed another rear guard with the same name as this unit this turn, and your order zone has Dragon in it, draw a card. Super easy. Call it, draw a card. Costs nothing. Great fodder to sack for your grade 4, early game attacker, mid game booster. It's super easy to use. Now this card, I slept on this card. If you guys will go back to my footage, I didn't run this card, and I feel dumb for not running this card because this card is fucking hilarious. Act front row rear guard circle. Cost, rest this unit, draw a card, and this unit cannot be moved to other rear guard circles until end of turn. Auto from a rear guard circle at the beginning of your battle phase. If your Vanguard is armed with the sword in its card name, or I'm just calling it the sword, or you have a grade 3 or greater rear guard with Yamigeno in its card name, stand this unit. So this thing is awesome because you can rest it, draw a card, sack it for your grade 4, or if you have the sword equipped, you could just untap it and swing with it. And it's another Dragon Knight, so it fits the bill for the extra 5k from Kyoya. This is our main grade 2. This is the important one. Again, another dragon. Twin dragon, a demon dragon Zahaka. Continuous rear guard circle and guardian circle. If you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Kyoya in its card name, this unit gets 5,000 power and 5,000 shield active on your opponent's turn too. So this thing's sitting at 20k as long as you're at grade 3. Auto, when this unit is placed on rear guard, if your order zone has Dragon in, cost Soul Blast one of the top 7 cards of your deck, choose up to 1 copy of the sword, or a card with the Zaidahaka in its card name from among them, reveal it, put it into your hand, shuffle your deck. Digs for the swords, digs for your grade 4 rear guards. The main deck actually plays another copy of this one and 3 copies of the other grade 4. We have our Persona Rides, and this is our other grade 4. Demonic Demise Dragon Zaidahaka. This one is typically the one you want in the front row. Continuous, this unit cannot be written. Call cost, pay 2 gauge. Continuous rear guard circle, when this unit would attack, choose a card with a Zaidahaka in its card name from your hand or drop. Important. And you may bind it. If you do, this unit battles all of your opponent's front row units for that battle. Auto rear guard circle, when this unit is retired during your opponent's turn, or your damage check reveals a card during your opponent's turn. If your Vanguard circle does not have an item, you search for the sword, you equip the sword. It's deck or drop, by the way, for the sword. If you search your deck, shuffle the deck. And I believe this one was also deck or drop. Yes. So the only thing is, if the sword's stuck in your hand, you can't play it, so you always want to make sure you discard the sword. So yeah, this guy attacks the front row. This one is the multi-attacker. We have another copy of that. Obviously, while Back row retires are a lot less prevalent in the meta. They do happen, so playing an extra copy makes sense. Now, we have our orders. First off, we have Dragon Emperor Legend. This is a grade 1 normal order. Again, it has Dragon as a race. So we got 4 copies of this. Put this card face down to the gauge and draw a card. If you have no face-up cards in your damage zone, countercharge 1. Until the end of your turn, you can play a total of 2 orders, but you cannot play an order other than Divine Dragon Creation, which is the other order. Our Regalis piece is Protection Twin Cast. It's a defensive order. We have a lot of orders we'd rather play on our turn. While we could play Fire Regalis, I could see us not digging through more of our deck, because this deck already burns through its resources really fast, because you're going to charge and draw basically every turn, because this deck can easily turn on Gargantuan Punisher, and we're going to talk about that in a second too. Divine Dragon Creation, this is the other order we're talking about. Play this with a Counterblast 1. This is why there's only 2. Draw 2 cards. Until the end of turn, you can play up to 2 orders, and you cannot play an order other than Dragon Emperor Legend. So if you need a countercharge, you can countercharge first, get some gauge, then play this, draw 2 cards, or vice versa to unflip the damage. Like I said, a lot of pluses. Gargantua Punisher. This card is normally woefully really bad, but because this deck uses so little gauge, this is an actual option. Continuous, this card cannot be played and can use its ability if it did not resolve the ability of an impact order this fight. Auto hand. At the end of your turn, if your opponent's damage zone has 4 or more cards and you persona roll this turn, cost Counterblast 1, discard this card, pay 4 gauge, and declare final phase. That is a fucking crazy cost and restriction, but it's because of what this does. So it doesn't count as your order per turn. Your opponent has to be at 4 damage. You have to have persona road, and you have to Counterblast 1 and discard this card. Plus you have to pay 4 gauge. Honestly, the hardest part of all of that is paying 4 gauge. Not necessarily so much in this deck, because you only have the 2 Rear Guards that use gauge, which they cost 4 gauge for if you play both, but you get it. Anyway, choose one of your Vanguards, stand it, and it attacks your opponent's Vanguard. It does that at the end on your end phase. You still get a twin drive. So this 5 attack deck can turn into a 6 attack deck. And if you have the sword equip, it's even crazier. That's why he replaced 2 copies of it, because this is actually real in this deck. All right, sword. Demonic Demise Sword, Akelta Guanif. Again, I hope I said that right. Arms, grade 3, arms to a grade 3 or greater unit with Kyoya in its card name. If it is a new item is armed, you put this card into the draw. So you can't have 2 swords. Continuous. This card cannot be played and cannot be armed other than by the ability of a card with a Zaida Haka in its card name. We talked about that at the beginning. Now, what does this sword fucking do? Continuous Vanguard Circle. During your turn, your Vanguard gets power plus 10,000 and critical plus 1, and all of your units with a Zaida Haka in their card name get power plus 5,000. So if you guys remember, the grade 3 is already giving them power plus 5,000. So with the sword, they get power plus 10,000. Not to mention persona rides, not to mention their own effects, like this Zaida Haka extinction. He restands with plus 10k, so he's going to restand as a 33. He's a 23 into 33 a multi-attacker. This guy's going to have 23, 33 if you persona ride swinging at the front row. It's just awesome how you have so much passive power, you know what I mean? And then the last effect, auto Vanguard Circle. Once per turn, when this card is armed to is attacked, the armed unit gets 15,000 power till end of that battle. It's a fucking defensive option. And y'all know, if you've been on my channel for a while, how I feel about defensive options, especially good ones. This doesn't have any cost, and it's 15,000 power. This is better than Buff Saga's old shield. Not as good as the new shield, but yeah. Then we have our PGs. He played 3 OG PGs and 1 PG order. I'm not sure if this one was the proper PG or the other one was, but they're both dragons, so it don't matter. We have Valnut as our OT. Makes sense. We have many restanding rear guards, and in most cases we're going to have our back row rear guard, which can attack from the back row, so we can give this to it and have it attack multiple times. If we hit this, it turns our 5 attack deck into a 7 attack deck, which is bonkers. Not to mention if we have Gargantua Punisher, which is even crazier. The only time it sucks is if we get hit this outside of our battle phase. Like if we use Gargantua Punisher and hit this, because we can't give it to a rear guard because we're outside the battle phase, they can't attack. All right. So as far as the triggers go, they're all generics, I believe. No, they're not. This one's a dragon. Okay, that's why. So this one's a dragon, so we can use its effect, even though this is tech. This also goes in the 100 Demons deck. So 100 Demons, Sorcery, Rear Show. Now, normally I don't talk about the triggers because a lot of times we don't play anything outside generic triggers or effects that every nation has, but these triggers are very specific on why he picked them. So this one, choose one of your rear guards. If you chose the rear guard, retire that unit and put the top card of your deck in face down into the gauge. During the guard step of your opponent's turn, this is called to the Guardian Circle as a trigger unit and becomes a 15,000 shield. That's fine. It's the first effect. You can play this as an order, retire rear guard, and put the top card of your deck face down as a gauge. So you have other ways to build up gauge. I don't see us using this very often, but you never know if it'll come up, especially if it means the difference between us using Gargantuan Punisher or not using Gargantuan Punisher. Ultimate Buddy. This one, it makes complete sense why you ran it. This is for retire decks. So as much plus as this deck has, it will burn through its own resources, and you want to protect your rear guards as much as you can. You choose one of your rear guards and you put this into that unit's Buddy Soul, even if the card doesn't have an effect to go to the Buddy Soul. If this card is in your rear guard's Buddy Soul, this unit gets continuous Soul Guard. So when that unit would leave the board for anything, you pay a Buddy Soul instead. And it means if it's getting bounced, if it's getting bound, if it's getting retired, anything, it protects it from everything. This is why I like this mechanic, but the decks that abuse this mechanic, this is not one of them, but this can forcibly give something Buddy Soul. And then it also can be guarded with a 15,000 trigger. This one is just it's a 20k shield. It has the continuous effect to get to become a 15,000 guardian when it's guarded with, and then it has, if your opponent's Vanguard's grade 3 or greater, it gets 5,000 power. So it's just a 20k shield, and I get the fronts as well. Though if you want to run more crits, it's probably pretty easy to swap between them. And then the last card that's important, because every Dragon World player loves this card, and we can play it because it is a dragon, even though it's a green dragon. During the guard step, 15,000 shield. Auto, when this card is put onto the Guardian Circle, if your damage zone has no face-up cards, cost, discard a card command, counter charge 1. This deck has a shitload of built-in counter charge. But yeah, this is the deck, this is the championship deck, and I played it. It feels pretty good, but now I'm going to show you guys what it actually looks like in practice. All right, guys, we got a game. I lost the dice roll. We're going second. All right, let's send some stuff back. We don't need you. We'll send you back. I kind of want to keep this. You know what? We'll keep the rest of the hand. Shuffle, shuffle. All right, let's do this. All right, so what are we playing against? I didn't even look. What the hell is this? Search your deck for up to one called the Deep Lands. Is this a new deck? I don't know this one. All right, what are we discarding? I kind of want to keep my orders. I kind of want to keep this whole hand. This whole hand's kind of nice. All right, so we're gonna ride grade 1. Go. Gauge. Gauge. That goes over there. View. That goes over there. Now we got to charge and draw. So what do I want to get rid of? I guess we'll just put this one. Charge and draw. I hope I don't regret that. And then Dragon Ean skill will discard. I lose at 7. All right. Now I'll go main phase. We're going to call the grade 1 skill. Draw us a card. Perfect. We needed some defense. What the fuck is that? Okay, so this is the main card of the deck. This is a new deck, a pre-release deck. All right, one sec. I want to read this. All right, this card can be played from drop and play this cost Soul Blast 1 retire rear guard. If you have a Vanguard with whatever the grade 3's name is, choose up to 2 cards with grade less than or equal to your Vanguard from your drop, call them to rear guard, and your Vanguard gets 5,000 power till end of turn. Perform one of the following according to the number of cards with the same name as this card in your order zone. This is a set order? No, it's a normal order. So what the fuck? So how would this stay in your order zone? 0, put this card into your order zone. That's why. 1 or more, bind this card, choose a card with call them new plans in your order zone, and the power increase of its continuous ability gets 5,000 until end of turn. Oh. Continuous order zone. If your opponent's Vanguard is a grade 3 or greater, all your units with deep land in their card name get 5,000 power. that replace from the drop this turn. Okay. With the same name as this card, or okay. So whatever you call with this or the grade 3. Interesting. So it's a set order deck without being a set order deck. That's weird. I mean, I get it because any normal order support you can use, but still, that's weird. Bro, go to my hand. Thank you. All right. Now, do we keep this? We could keep this and go for it. I guess we'll see. We'll see what our draws end up looking like and how aggressive he gets. We do have a pretty nice set of cards with 2 orders. One to give us a more gauge, one to and counter charge, one to counter blast and draw cards. So next turn should be fun. Hopefully he doesn't go too crazy. I would preferably like to keep him down to 1 damage. And it looks like he's not going to go too crazy, which we're okay with. Cool, that's kind of like a zombie deck type thing. All right, we're gonna no guard here. Okay, I'm guessing that's the grade 3. There's my other Gargantuan Punisher. All right, we don't want to get rid of this one. We want to keep it because there's only one more in the deck. So we will charge and draw. I hope I don't regret this. So we're gonna go skill, gauge face down and draw. Then I want to keep, fuck man, I want to keep the whole hand. All right, I guess we have to discard the ride, so we'll discard this. We're only keeping the Gargantuan Punisher because we're going for it specifically. And then we use skill, which is top 5 for a dragon. One without. You know what? We'll have that. It has to be one without Sentinel. Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. Add this to hand. Gonna move you back. We're gonna play the grade 2 order. Counter blast 1. Draw 2 cards. Nice. Building up our gauge some more, and we have our 3rd dragon. Then we're gonna play Dragon Empire Legend, which lets us put this into our gauge, draw a card, and countercharge 1. Nice. And we pulled the other sword out of the deck, though I don't really want that. It's okay. I'm gonna go skill, rest, draw, and call. We could draw another card, but I think we're gonna keep the offense this time. I'm gonna go. That was supposed to be main phase. My bad. We're gonna go swing. All right, drive check, critical. So we're gonna go crit here, power here. And then we're gonna go 28 to Vanguard. Nice, 4 damage. All right, he's gonna get to grade 3 first, and now we gotta see what the grade 3, what this all actually does. All right. Active Vanguard Circle once per turn, cost Energy Blast 2, choose a card from your drop, call to rear guard. That's already good. Auto Vanguard Circle at the end of the battle, this unit attack, counter blast 1, retire 2, rear guard, choose up to 1 grade 3 card with its name from its different card name from this unit from your drop, ride it as stand, and it gets drive -2 to end of turn. What the fuck? When you would ride a card by this effect, the riding unit is placed with all the power and critical increases from trigger effects that this unit got this turn. Huh, that's cool. But does it put you back down to a grade 2? Is that what I'm reading? And then the order, oh no, yeah. Retire 2 rear guard, choose up to 1 grade 3 card with the same name, with a name and its card name, and its different card name from this unit. So there's another grade 3. Huh. Interesting style. I might have to make this deck. And here it is. When this card is placed on Vanguard Circle by the ability of your deep land, cost Counter Blast, Soul Blast 1, choose a deep lands regardless from your drop, call it to rear guard, and at the end of that turn, put that unit on the Vanguard Circle as rest. Ah, so you re-ride the grade 3 and then you call a grade 3 from the drop, so you get 5 attacks. When this unit attacks, if your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, and this unit was placed from drop this turn, this unit gets drive -1 because it gets drive -2, and this gets 5,000 power for each of your Vanguard. Ooh, if you can guard with it too? Oh, that's cool. That's spicy. All right. Let's intercept here. This unit gets 5,000 shield for each grade of your Vanguard with D plans and its card name. Yeah, that's solid. Did he not see it? He might not have seen it. Oh. All right, 15. I don't want to overguard this, but we have like no shield value in hand, so, and I want to keep my rear guard. Oops. I didn't realize, but yeah, the van don't do too much. No guard here. He does get a twin drive, and then reride into a grade 3. Boop. Oh, he doesn't have another copy of the grade 3. Oh, he's gonna retire it and then ride it. Oh, okay, it's spicy. I like that. That's cool. I'm gonna make this deck. Yeah, he forgot to use the first effect, which is an act effect. It blasts 2, call a card from the drop. Interesting. I like all of this. 13, we'll take that. No, my grade 4. It's all right, we have the buddy. And then we'll guard that. He doesn't get a drive check because we're only at grade 2. And then he gets to re-ride, and then he can soul blast the other one. Oh my god, it flows together really nicely. I like that. All right, so we're gonna charge and draw. Let me see what's in my drop. The sword's in my drop. Okay, so we're gonna charge the sword. We don't need the sword. Then we're gonna discard for ride. How many cards do we have in here? View. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We can't Gargantua Punisher until we Persona Ride. He doesn't have a retire deck, so you know what? We're gonna discard you. And we're gonna draw. I'm so with it. And now, because we rode, we get to put the top card of our deck face down to gauge and draw another card. All right. Ooh, good top deck. Good top deck. Main phase. All right, so we're gonna go skill. We're gonna counter blast 1. We're gonna look at top 5. I don't want to call any of this, so we're just not gonna call anything. It's fine because we're gonna do this. Oh, we don't get to counter charge because that's only if I have no face-up cards in my counter block. It's all right. We'll save that. We're gonna go call skill. As you see, this deck does have a large plus engine. Skill. View soul. Soul blast 1. We're gonna go top 7. We get nothing. I'm kind of okay with it. Now we're gonna do the buddy call. Well, no, we're not. We're gonna do this first. Gonna rest, draw another card, and then we're going to pay 2 gauge, retire this guy. Bam. And now, how many gauge do we have now? We still have 5, which means we can Gargantua Punish our next turn because we're gonna pay another 2 for our boy here. Boop. All right. So now he gets plus 10 because of his skill and the Vanguard skill. This gets plus 5 from the Vanguard. This gets plus 5 from the Vanguard. This gets plus 5 from the Vanguard. And this gets plus 5 from the Vanguard. We love this. We love this very much. So we're going to go battle phase. We're going to swing. Starting off with this one. And then we're going to go skill. We're going to bind. And we're going to attack the front row. 33, that's fine. Now we're going to go 18 from the back row. All right. Then we're going to go skill. Counter blast 1. Restand. And then we're going to go 13. And he gets 10,000 power. All right. First check. Bloop. That's a heal trigger. That doesn't go off. That's unfortunate. We'll give the power here. Second check. Nothing. Though I will take the PG. All right, now we have plenty of defense. And we can still take 4 damage. So now we're gonna go 33. Only downside is we don't have a Persona Rod. I want to do the Gargantuan Punisher. And then we got 38. And yes, the Guardian's already at 5. That was an explosive turn. So I forgot to add the extra crit. Because my opponent's at grade 3, so he gets an extra crit when he restands. So, it's funny. He actually asked me about the extra crit, which is what Beaky did it because he wanted to use the heal trigger. But look at how much we devastated him. He can still easily get 5 attacks because of the way that Vanguard works, which I think is pretty cool. He just needs some good soul outs. He's using the Energy Blast too to call from the drop. It feels very Zorga. When your grade 3 or greater Vanguard is placed, you may call this card to rear guard. So, so you got to play both of them because he rode grade 3. Interesting. And now he's using the order from the drop. Bind this card, choose a card from the deep lands in your order zone, and okay, so it's going to give everything called by its effect 10,000 power. Its effect and the Vanguard's effect. And then it's going to call a dude from the drop. Choose up to 2 cards with grade less than or equal to your Vanguard from the drop, call them to rear guard, they get 10,000 power. Nice. It feels very Zorga. Nice to focus on the orders. This is what, let me rephrase, this feels very Grand Blue, which I used to like Grand Blue. So we're probably gonna fuck with that deck next. He hasn't even called off of its skill. Oh. I misread the card. So it calls 2 units from the drop, but only deep lands get the extra power. They get an extra 5k, and then this gives them an extra 10k. If you use a second one, it makes the increase plus 5k. All right, so he's swinging 23 to my Vanguard. We'll guard that. $30k, choosing something that can't stand. Ooh, he's cutting off my grade 4. That's not nice. That's hilarious, but not nice. I don't like that at all. Let's OT this. I need a Persona Rod. Now that I don't have a Zai Haka, I'm screwed next turn if I don't drop Persona Rod. All right, so whatever the new grade 3 he's gonna play is gonna have the power boost from this, which I still think is cool. Seems very counterblasty though. Okay, he's gonna get +1 drive too. We do have a perfect guard for this though, but we don't have a whole lot to guard this. So if he gets a critical, I'm in trouble. Oh wait, yes we do. We have this. I'm stupid. Oh, and because he placed a new grade 3, he gets a new rear guard. That's funny. All right, we're definitely gonna guard this. All right, I feel safe now. Oh yeah, we can go to 7. What am I saying? I don't have to guard for shit. And I still have no Persona Rod. All right, Let me top deck Persona Ride. I have 2 chances to top deck Persona Ride. We didn't see any of it in our damage, which is good. There it is. So first we're going to charge and draw. We have how many? We have 3, so we have plenty. Okay, cool. We're going to put this into, we're going to put this in, and we're going to draw. Hey, look, we found our Persona Rides. Then we're going to Persona Ride. Front row's going to get 10,000 power. Right, this can't stand. Now, let me make sure I do this right. At the end of the turn, if your opponent's damage zone has 4 or more cards, which it does, and you Persona roll this turn, which we did, cost, counterblast 1, discard this card, pay 4 gauge, which we have all. Okay, cool. Yeah, we're just gonna give out power boosts. I never equipped the sword. And now I basically can't get it for the rest of the game unless I retire my own rear guard. So basically, the sword gets equipped if my rear guard is retired, or if one of these guys is retired, or I take a damage. Does it have to be retired by effect to do that? Because I'll call over this. Say less. Because right now this guy's useless to me, and if I can guess my opponent's gonna make it, so this can't attack regardless. When the shield is retired during your opponent's turn. Well, I fucked up. It's all right. It's my fault. All right. He's got 2 grade 3s in the front row. That's not a big deal. We're just gonna swing. But this should have an extra 10k and a crit on it, but I'm stupid. We also could have guarded easier in that last turn. We have 3 attacks. He doesn't know we have a 4th attack. I'm hoping I hit a heal. Even though we have 2 heals in hand. Those are the only heals we pit. Yeah, so we have 2 heals in deck. Thankfully, he does pump up our rear guards, so our columns are still pretty big. This is actually missing 5k power. Because he gets 5k from himself, too. He's got 2 grade 3s in the front row, so no shield. 28, 38, okay. So that is 2 to pass. First check. Second check. Nothing. Damn. All right. Then we're gonna go, oh, whoops. 41. Skill. I mean, I guess it don't matter. He's just gonna call him back as soon as he rides. But if he doesn't ride, I guess. If he doesn't ride, I would like to get rid of the front row. $33, $38. He gets 5k shield, so 48, 43. Nice. And then the PG. And then we're gonna go end phase and play Gargantuan Punisher. 1, 2, 3, 4. Boop. And then we're going to swing. And he says no guard. First check. Second check. Heal trigger, which we wanted. So even if he lives, we're in a good spot. GG. Oh, stolen with the Gargantuan Punisher. Why didn't he guard it? Now, the cool thing was, the restood would have had 10k in a crit if I remember the fucking sword. And he had the Persona ride, so he could have done his whole shenanigans. All right, guys, that's it for the game. that's it for the video. As you see, even though I fucked up, the deck still performed wonderfully. Even our opponent stunning our grade 4, cutting us off of 2 attacks, we were able to take it because Gargantua Punisher is real in this deck. It's a little tougher against a retire deck. I actually played against a Gandiva deck, and once they retire the grade 4, it hurts you a lot. We do play a second copy, and we do play the Soul Guard, but it's kind of hard to, you know, not only realize what you're playing against, but then draw into the critical trigger to then play that as your order. It can get a little weird, but the game has a solid early game. The defensive options of the sword and being able to live till 7 damage. Like, I was able to live till 7 damage there without burning through my entire hand. It would have been a lot easier if I had remembered the fucking sword off my first damage, but it's all right. We also had the ability to potentially restand our Vanguard with an extra 10k and a crit because of the sword. So let me know your thoughts down in the comments, guys. Again, this is the championship deck. This is the one that won BCS Houston. I could see how it happened, but I'm wondering how it's going to do in a retire heavy format if we end up going into a retire heavy format. I don't know yet. I haven't seen any strong retire decks besides Bob Sagra, but Bob Sagra doesn't necessarily struggle to hit the back row, but being in the fact that I can only hit the back row once a turn, I don't know if I gotta think if there's a way to loop the hammer, but you're giving up on like drive checks and stuff to do that. So it's like, is it worth it? It's something to think about. I could see it playing well against Buff Saga. I could see it playing not so well against Buff Saga. But let me know your thoughts down in the comments. If you guys want to check me out on social media, those links are down below. If you guys want to see the next Cardfight Vanguard stream, next Cardfight Vanguard stream will be Wednesday, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I would love to have you guys. That's going to be it from me. We're trying that deck, and I'll catch you guys on the next video. Later.
In my eyes, I was born for this. I got demons on my side, you ain't high like this. I got reason to believe, found meaning from my gifts. Only I can change the world and it go like this.